Welcome to Sew with Sustinnoworx, where today we're going to be making a tote bag. Firstly, we're cutting out the bag. Fold your fabric in half. The fold line will be the bottom of the bag, and cut your bag out. So firstly, I'm measuring how wide I want my bag to be, marking this with chalk, and then cutting. And then doing the same for the length of the bag. So next we're cutting out the straps for the bag, making sure that we're cutting a little over double the width that we want our straps to be once they're sewn, and that they're also long enough to fit comfortably over your shoulder. Fold your strap in half lengthways, right sides together, and sew down this length, creating a tunnel. So I'm taking my fabric and folding it right sides together, meaning, the nice sides of the fabric towards each other, and with about a 1 centimeter seam allowance, sewing down these raw edges and creating a tunnel. You can use pins if you want to secure these two sides of the fabric in place while you're sewing, and just making sure to take the pins out before they go through the machine. Using a safety pin, turn your straps out. So taking about a medium-sized safety pin, we're going to attach it into the seam allowance of this tunnel that we've just made, and then taking the long end and putting it inside the strap, feeding this down the tunnel as a way that we can turn our strap inside out. And once your two straps are turned all the way out, giving them a quick press, making sure that the seam is placed nicely at the edge of the strap. Fold your bag piece in half, right sides together, and sew both side seams. So opening out your bag piece that you cut out before, we're going to turn it around so that we're folding it in half with the right sides, or the nice sides of the fabric, together, and those long edges we're going to sew. Finish the raw edges of the side seams using an overlocker or a zigzag stitch. So with those seams that we've just sewn, we're going to tidy up those edges. I've got an overlocker here, or if you have a domestic sewing machine, you can use a zigzag stitch. Then with your bag still inside out, pin the ends of your bag straps to the top of the bag, raw edges together. So my bag is inside out here, I'm taking those raw edges of my straps and I'm attaching them with a pin to the top of the bag there, with the raw edges of the straps matching the raw edges of the top of the bag, one strap on each side. And then taking this over to my sewing machine, tacking these straps onto the top of the bag with about a 1 centimeter seam allowance, making sure to take out your pins as you're sewing. With the bag still inside out, fold the top raw edge over towards you and press. So my bag here is inside out, I've got my strap sewn on, and I'm taking the top of that raw edge, I'm folding it towards me by about 1 centimeter, and I'm going to do that all the way around the top of the bag and give it a press. Then fold this edge over again by 3 centimeters and pin. Sew this hem. So taking this folded edge that we've just made and pressed, then folding it over by a further 3 centimeters all the way around the top of the bag and pinning this. Then taking this over to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew this hem down close to the fold of the fabric, and making sure to take our pins out as we sew. Fold the straps upwards, pin in place, then sew the straps in place along the top edge of the bag. Now this is our last step. So we've got our straps and we are flipping them upwards away from the bag and then pinning the strap to the top hem of the bag on both sides. Now over at our sewing machine, I'm going to take one of these straps. I'm sewing on the outside so that I can make sure that I am sewing close to the edge of the hem, sewing this strap onto the top of the bag. And that was our final bit of sewing. So the last step is to turn the bag right side out and give it a good press all over, especially on the parts that we've just sewn, the top hem and on those straps. Making sure that you give those side seams a really lovely good press, and also the bottom of the bag. And so this is what your final product should look like. Nice and tidy on the outside around that hem, and also just as lovely and tidy on the inside. And there you have it. Tote bag made custom to your needs, ready for you to go about your day.